Well, folks, she's gone off the deep end.
Okay, okay, I wanted to cover something like this for a really long time, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm like giddy about it.
Mm-hmm.
I've been holding
I
on to
know.
this, but it has so
Guys,
many layers.
and like I hope this doesn't ruin the mystery of what you're doing, but like this woman has been walking around our lives for the last like 3 weeks being like, I can't wait to do the lobster dog boy. Like, and I'm just like, what? This is a true crime podcast. Like, I don't know
You
what you're.
literally just meshed two stories together. That's
Did I? They're not the
yeah.
same?
No.
All right.
So
Well,
it's even funnier to me. But before we get into it,
mhm.
I was, as you know, I woke up this morning and I was like, I'm in group 7. Is anyone else? So I wake up, I'm like, okay, I gotta wake up my brain, da da da, check the news,
Mhm.
do. And then all of a sudden I get this thing and it's like, welcome to group 7. And I'm like, group 7? The fuck is group 7?
I too am in group 7. And when I tell you how little I cared, and that
I
might
was
upset my fellow group 7ers.
Well, I was like, is this part of the 6-7? The 6-7. I still don't know what that means. So then I'm like, what is happening? Like, I don't know what's going on in the world. Everyone's lost their goddamn minds. So I figured today was a good day since everyone's gone fucking batshit crazy to talk about
Yeah.
Lobster Boy.
Yeah. I'm very excited. When I saw like the group 7, the group 5, I was just like, we have arrived at the Hunger Games and we've now
Right?
all been put into districts. And this just goes bad from here.
My fear is like, what if our group is the fighting group? I don't
I
want to
will
be in
not
the
be.
fighting group.
I I don't feel like we are.
My knee cracked in the tub last night, just repositioning myself. Do not put me in the fighting group, for fuck's sakes.
We need to find out what group the guys are in. And then
Mm-hmm.
that will give us a better understanding because they would 100% be put in the fighting group.
I mean,
It ain't
yeah.
for me.
Before I get into my story, you're gonna be annoyed, but
Mm.
I am so deep in Akatar land right now. And if anyone out there has been reading these books, I'm on the last book.
And she's devastated.
And like, I don't know what I'm gonna do when these books are over. Cause like I did start creating an Afghan. So I'm crocheting an Afghan,
Mm-hmm.
reading these books. I've got all these activities. Plus I'm working 2 jobs and we've got the podcast
Mm-hmm.
but I'm like, what am I going to do when this book is over? I don't know, sleep?
Do you have each page that you turn? Do you have like anxiety as it comes closer to the end?
Well, last night, let me tell you,
Oh
I was in
boy.
the tub reading my book. And Mike
Uh-huh.
and I have like a tandem bathroom where he showers in the shower and I sit in the
Yeah.
tub. And usually, if we're doing our tandem bathing, we talk through the wall, but I was just silent reading and he could hear me giggling. And I don't know if it's the crocheting or if it's just my age, but I am giggling. And he's like, what is funny? And I was like, babe, they said the C word. And he's like, what's the C word? And I was like, the boy appendage. C-O-C-K. I can't even say that word. It's just, I cannot say it. But, anyways, I was like, they said that word. And like, he was like, are you 5? What the fuck is going on over there? But like, I was like, they said it. And I was giggling. And I'm like, am I old now that word makes me
Invokes
giggle?
giggles? Probably.
But it was hot and I was into it. Anyways, enough of my smut.
All right.
I'm a dirty bird. I love
I
those
know.
books. I love
I know
them.
you are.
But, I think it's time we jump in. And the first thing I want to
Mm-hmm.
ask is, what are your thoughts on the circus?
I love circus culture.
Mm-hmm.
I have always pictured it's creepy. It
Mm-hmm.
doesn't really make sense.
Mm.
Like, I don't think it's meant for, I mean, I know that it's classified as entertainment, but I'm like, there's something satanic about this. Don't play around with me. A
I
ringleader, get out of here.
I know, it's weird. I love the circus, but I do not support the use of animals at all in a circus.
No, no. I agree with you
Y
100%.
Yeah, so, like, if you're a human and you have some weird talent or you've got something
Yeah.
going on that you wanna be in the circus, cool, don't involve the animals.
No, and the thing is, animals were not meant to travel, like, at all. They're
It's
supposed to be
just
born somewhere
free, yeah.
and live their lives. Like, they're not meant to be getting into the back of trucks and going to different locations. It's awful.
It's awful. So, I love the old school ones where the people were the main event.
Yeah, yeah. That I'm okay with.
Yeah, I
Get in the truck,
actually
Bob.
right? Bob's like, "Yeah, let's go." Um, yeah, so I actually do have a piece of artwork of no, I don't want to offend anybody,
Oh god.
but I bought it at, like, an antique sale, and I thought it was
Mhm.
really interesting because it's a poster, like an original framed piece of the world's fattest woman. And it's a photo
Oh.
of her sitting,
Mhm,
and there's a child there looking at her.
mhm.
And so, of course, I was like, I want to know about this woman. So I looked it up, and she actually was the happiest woman. She was happy to be there. She wanted to be there. And she was a happy, willing participant because I wanted to make sure. But oddly enough, about the world's fattest woman in this time, because I think it's like the
Uh-huh.
30s or something,
Huh.
she was actually married to the world's skinniest man.
No way.
Yep. Fatty and Skinny went to a dance. Fatty got caught in Skinny's pants. My grandma used to sing that to me all the time. It's very offensive,
Wow.
but
It's
you
very
know,
offensive. But it was the '60s,
it
like,
was
what are
the
we gonna do?
60s. So, you know, I did want to mention though, the world's fattest woman in the 30 was not even like, in
No.
comparison to today's standards of
Yes.
what a fat person is, I was like, "Oh, she's just carrying some extra weight." She was the size of my grandmother, not my maternal, but my
Yeah.
paternal grandmother,
Yeah.
mère. That was a big ass woman, and, like,
Yeah.
my mère was bigger than the world's fattest woman
Yeah. I know.
from the
I know.
30s, so I'm like, "Well,
Well, it's like the '30s, I mean, they didn't have the food we have. So, on average, like, most people were underweight
yeah."
or if you were average, you were probably rich.
Well, yeah. Yeah. 100%. It was celebrated, you know?
Mm.
All right. So I want to set the stage for you right now.
Alright.
Okay. Imagine it's the 1930s, small town America, and the traveling carnival is the biggest show rolling through. Like, this is a big deal in the 30s,
Mhm.
right? There's no Netflix, no TikTok, just bright lights, popcorn, a big ass tent, and like these weird, exciting sideshows. So everyone is like, I want to see, this person or that person. And there's some
I
shit.
always I always get so excited listening to these stories because we are so entertained all the flippin' time.
Yeah.
We don't know what, I say this, to the kids all the time. You don't know what boredom is.
No.
Matt and I laugh all the time because 'cause we're like, "Remember when you used to eat your cereal and read the back of the cereal box, which you've read every morning for the last week?"
Yeah. Yeah.
There was nothing else to like,
I
they
would
don't
read
know
the,
boredom.
the tampon and the pad boxes, the toilet
Yeah,
paper roll. Like, yeah.
everything.
Okay. So let me set the stage. We've got the tents.
Mm,
We've got the lights. We've got the
mm,
popcorn. We've got the guy yelling, "Step right up to see, da 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 da."
yeah,
And in the middle of all of this is a family name that would become infamous,
mm.
the Stiles family, which I was very interested in. I didn't look it up, but now that it's in my head, isn't there like a pop singer, Harry Styles?
Harry Styles.
I'd be
Mhm.
curious to know. So if anyone is curious, Look it up.
Let's look it up.
They carried something rare in their bloodline. Ectrodactyly. I
Very good.
practiced that one.
I'm impressed.
A genetic condition that causes the hands and feet to form into claw-like shapes.
Oh.
So it's like lobster claws.
I need everyone to go hop on YouTube and look at Ashley's.
I am not doing gang signs. I'm doing ectrodactyly. So we know. I wouldn't know a gang sign if it hit me in the face. So this is the lobster claw syndrome, and it's a rare genetic disorder. And for generations, the Stiles family lived with it. Instead of hiding, they turned it into their livelihood, which I think, you know what?
Very smart.
Absolutely. So they joined sideshows and freak shows. They displayed their hands, and honestly, they made a really good living doing this.
I bet.
Yeah. You know, when they had tried to do anything other than that, the doors were slammed in their faces because remember, this is the 30s. You know, any type of disability was not, it's not accommodating back then. There was no, it was you're a freak, you know,
Period.
get the fuck out of here, basically.
Yeah.
By the time Grady Stiles Jr. was born in Pittsburgh in 1937, this was already like his family legacy. So he is born, and he was the fourth generation born with this condition.
Okay.
His father, Grady Sr., worked the carnival circuit as the Lobster Man. And it was almost given that Grady Jr. obviously would grow into the same spotlight, the same title, because it's his legacy, and he now has the same condition. Now, Grady's childhood, of course, wasn't easy because of the deformity. Walking was impossible. He moved around on his hands and arms.
Oh.
So it's a pretty severe disability. He would drag his body, but keep in mind the amount of incredible strength you would need to use your arms as legs, essentially.
Yeah.
And girl, this boy was strong. He literally, like, I saw photos. This guy is jacked.
I bet.
This kid is like, it's pretty incredible. So these arms carried him through life, and eventually those arms would make him very dangerous.
Oh. Dun, dun, dun.
But as a boy, he was just part of this tight-knit traveling community. The carnival was his playground. And I can only imagine, you know, a kid, you're traveling with a carnival, like your life would be fun, I would think.
It would be very interesting.
Yeah. It would be like a very tight-knit community, I believe, because these are the outcasts of society, and they're all together and they're accepting, and you would probably feel some kind of camaraderie with that, I believe.
I read somewhere once that back when the circus first began, like in the 20s and 30s, that STIs were like rampant.
Oh,
because
yeah.
everybody boinked everybody and just passed things around.
Just a
Crabs were crawling around all over everybody.
Are you sure it wasn't lobsters? Joking. Fucking mom joke of the day.
Crustaceans.
So he wasn't just a kid with a condition. He was billed as the Lobster Boy.
All right.
Put on display before he even understood what that meant. So my heart kind of breaks for him, because really he was born into this without a choice.
Yeah.
You know, whether he wanted to be a part of this freak show
or not,
it was kind of chosen for him because he was born with the same condition. But and I can only imagine growing up and people paying money to gawk at you.
I know. And again, people from 2025 are going to be like, this is horrific, but it was a different time.
It was
a different time.
Yeah. So, and here's where, you know, our story really gets into it, because Grady wasn't just living in the world of the sideshow. He was absorbing the way people looked at him. the way the carnival used him. He was learning that being feared could be as powerful as being pitied.
Uh-oh.
And he would use this lesson later in ways that no one could have predicted. So by the time Grady Stiles Jr. hits his teens, he wasn't just Lobster Boy on the carnival posters anymore. He was a young man.
Mm-hmm.
Like, but, with the hormones, with aging, with things he's experienced, he starts becoming very bitter, very angry, and already leaning into that strength his arms had built from carrying him around all of his life. So
Mm-hmm.
we've got someone who's bitter, who's angry, who has like strength beyond his age. That could be a combination of a lot of pretty scary things.
Yeah, 100%.
He fell into drinking very early. Alcohol became his coping mechanism,
Mm.
and with it came a mean streak. So he wasn't one of those happy drunks. He was a
No.
mean drunk. People in the carnival community started whispering about his temper. And here's the thing. Because of his condition, nobody could really fight him because he had the strength of a fucking wrestler. So no one is going, up to him and being like, hey, do you think you've had enough? Because he's an angry, drunk, and fucking like He-Man. Like,
Okay, I am going to sound so insensitive right now, but
yeah,
just bear with me. How? Like, I feel like a abled person would be able to outrun him.
maybe outrun him. But if you're trying to, like, say, physically take a drink out of his hand, you're
Okay,
no
okay,
match
okay,
for this guy.
okay.
Now, Grady married young. He actually married twice. His
Grady.
first marriage gave him 2 children, one of them born with the same condition.
Mm-hmm.
He left that family, though, and
Of
later
course he
married
did.
again a woman named Mary Teresa. Like, it's,
Typical.
I was like, she sounds like a nun.
Yeah.
Together, they had more kids, some with the condition and some without.
Okay.
But life inside this household was hell.
No.
This fucking man became violent and abusive. When he drank, which was basically every minute of
All
the
the
day,
time. Yeah.
yep, he turned on Mary Teresa and the kids. He beat them.
Mm.
He terrified them. His reputation wasn't just Lobster Boy. It became Lobster Boy the monster at home.
I wasn't meant to be born to this family because I'd be like, catch me if you can, Dad.
Yeah, yeah.
Running away.
And here's the darkest twist. Everyone in the family knew what he was capable of because he'd already proved it.
Uh-oh.
So, in 1978, one of his daughters, Donna, was engaged to a young man that Grady did not approve of. Like, he was
Okay.
like, fuck that. You are not going to be with this
This isn't
guy.
happening.
On the night before the wedding, Grady invited the fiance over to the house. And while the family sat around the table, he pulled out a shotgun and murdered the boy in cold blood.
I'm sorry, just at the dinner table?
Yep. He shot him point blank in front of his family.
What?
And this motherfucker looks at his daughter and says, I told you I would kill him.
Oh, good. Okay. All right. Well, thanks, Dad.
Right? The night before your wedding? The fuck? So, this is where it gets even crazier because he goes to trial. Everyone saw him do it.
Yeah, I was going to say this wasn't a question of did he do it?
But Grady was given probation, no prison time, because the system said nobody could properly accommodate him behind bars. He was too disabled for prison.
Oh.
So this man literally murdered someone, admitted it, laughed about it, and walks out.
And now he knows
He's like,
he can get away with anything because he's like, they'll never send me to prison.
well, and that's what his family realized, right? He wasn't just violent now, he was untouchable.
That's actually terrifying.
Yeah. So after Grady literally gets away with murder in 1978, it only gets worse from here. Because think about it. He'd already like grown up being violent. He'd already been abusive. And now he had proof that the law couldn't touch him. So by 1981, 82, he's drinking heavier, raging harder. His family live in fear. They are terrified all the time. He beat Mary Teresa daily. He terrorized the children.
Yeah.
Even his grown kids weren't safe. Everyone around him was terrified, but like didn't have the, you know, I guess, confidence to stand up against him, I would say.
Well, no, because you're not going to call the police. They can't do anything.
And
Who do
it's
you
even
call?
right and scarier because most abusers do think they're untouchable, but in this case, he almost was.
He was.
So by 89, Mary Teresa finally reached her breaking point. She'd left him once before, but like so many abused partners, she would always come back. This time, though, she was done. She couldn't take another night of this. She couldn't live in fear, live with the beatings, the threats, all of it. So this is the part where it feels like a true crime soap opera to me. Because
Okay.
Mary Teresa doesn't just leave. She makes a plan.
Oh.
She reaches out to her son-in-law. Yes, her daughter's husband. And told him something had to be done. Together, they arrange for a teenage neighbor to kill Grady. His name was
Oh boy.
Chris Wyant. They paid him $1,500.
Oh my God.
But like, that's not a lot of money for decades of violence. This is the 80s now, so that's not a lot.
But 1,500. This is the 80s now?
Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay. $1,500. Well, no, but I mean, like, it's still quite a bit of money.
Well, yeah. On November 29th, 1992, Grady Stiles Jr. sat in his living room in Gibsonton, Florida. I've never heard of that place. Have you?
Hello, Gibsonton. No, I
Hello,
have not.
friends. I've never heard
I
of that.
hope we're saying that right.
God, just fucking kill me now. Swear to God. So he was watching TV, just another night in his recliner, drinking, and this boy walks in. He raises a .32 caliber revolver and shoots him twice in the head. Bang, bang.
Bye.
The Lobster Boy was dead before he even hit the floor. But the story doesn't stop with his death because it gets even wilder when you look at what happens after. Like, this is
Oh
why I
my
was
God.
like, this is the craziest shit I've ever read.
This is the circus.
So Chris Wyant, the teenager who pulls the trigger, is convicted of second-degree murder and he gets 27 years in prison.
Ouch.
Mary Teresa, the wife who orchestrated the plan, was convicted of conspiracy to commit murder and she served 12. And her son-in-law, who helped put it together, also went down in his role. But here's the twist that makes the whole thing feel like fate. When they buried Grady Stiles Jr., no funeral home in town wanted to handle his body. His reputation was that bad.
Oh God.
Like, he was so hated and feared that even in death, people were like, I'm not touching that.
No, thank you.
So here's where we land. Grady Stiles Jr. spent his life being stared at, being mocked, being feared, and hated. He leaned into that power. He used it to hurt everyone closest to him. And in the end, it wasn't the law or prison or justice that stopped him. It was his own family.
Well, you know what? Lobster Boy had it coming.
Well, you know.
He sounded like a piece of shit.
Okay, so that was my first crazy story, and I'm not done.
There's more.
Because while I went down Lobster Boy, because I was like, people need to know about this crazy circus situation.
Yeah,
I came across another story.
All right.
The Dog Man.
I was going to say, it's got to be the dog man. Because if I thought it was the dog lobster, We've got to be going to Dog Man.
And I know this is so fucking crazy, but like, I thought, you know, let's just have a little fun today with these
I
crazy.
love that you were like, let's shake up triggered this morning. All right, let's go.
Okay. So this is kind of a different type of story because it's a line between true crime and urban legend. And things get a little blurry.
Oh, I
And
love these.
yeah. So it starts with a boy and it ends with whispers of a creature, something people still call the dog boy.
Dun, dun, dun.
Okay, so let's go back to July 23rd, 1953, in a tiny town of Quitman, Arkansas. Quitman. Guys, hi, Quitman.
She's trying.
I'm trying so hard.
There's so much effort here.
So much effort. So Floyd and Aline Bettis were the sweet church-going couple who'd been trying for years to have a baby.
Oh.
And finally, it happened. The
There
miracle
he is.
child. Ah, Jarrell Bettis. Though everyone called him Gerald, but he was Jarrell.
Gerald.
Yeah, Gerald.
I'm sorry. His name was Jarrell?
Yeah.
Like
People
Jekyll,
called-
but with an R?
Yeah. Jarrell.
Interesting.
But everyone called him Gerald. And this was the baby they thought would never come, so they spoiled him rotten. And I
would
mean,
like to take
fucking rotten.
I would like to take a moment here and just say that my miracle baby, because my one daughter, like doctors were like, we don't know how she's here. She shouldn't be here.
No.
She is the first child in my ex-husband's family in 99 years.
Girl.
Incredible. Mm-hmm.
So, you know, the moment he came, he was the center of the world. And in their house, the world revolved around him.
Ah, yes.
But here's the thing. Sometimes the miracle you beg for isn't the miracle you need. Because this motherfucker grew up mean.
Mm-hmm.
This boy was not some sweet little angel from above. He was like fucking a little demon, in my
Wonderful.
opinion. Mm-hmm.
Lovely.
Even as a little kid, he loved to hurt things. Cats, dogs, birds, rabbits, anything smaller and weaker than him, he would torture them.
And we know that this is one of the things in the McDonald triad.
Right? He would perform these weird, sick experiments. Like, he's a fucked up kid.
Ayoy.
Neighbors would show up at the Bettis store like, hey, your kid is mutilating the strays again.
Oh my God. How do you even handle, like, I would be so mortified.
No. His parents would be like, boys will be boys. I could scream at that fucking.
Oh no.
There is nothing worse in this world than that saying, I could fucking scream.
Yeah. It's awful. And then the counter to that is be a lady. Like,
right?
get the fuck right out of here.
So while his parents are covering from him, like they're covering for him all the time. Like they are like, not our sweet Gerald. He's just a boy. Be doing boy things. Like I can't.
I can't.
Crazy. The rest of this community are like whispering and they're like, something's fucking weird about this kid. And the kids in his community called him Dog Boy.
What? But why?
Because
he was mutilating dogs?
Mm-hmm.
Ew. Oh, I hate this.
He's a freak.
No, I don't like this.
No. So at school, obviously he's getting bullied. He was super awkward, so fucking weird, but he always played the victim.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know those kids that were given everything and then anytime it comes back on them, it's like, but but I didn't mean to. I was just playing and they were mean to me and they're
I
bullying me.
was I was sad.
Mhm.
As he's Frankensteining roadkill,
Literally.
like, get out of here.
But, these playground days, of course, didn't last forever because eventually everyone grows up, and he did. Very big. He was a big man.
Ew.
By adulthood, he was over 6 feet tall and weighed more than 300 pounds.
That is a big boy.
Yeah, yeah. And with his size came cruelty. And his parents, those same parents who'd once spoiled him, were now fucking terrified of him. So the tables have turned. You literally told him he could do no wrong. And all of a
Mhm.
sudden, he's a grown up. And now he's bullying
Mhm.
you.
Yeah.
Friends would come by the house to check on Floyd and Aline all the time. Gerald would answer the door, all hostile, shutting people out. But inside the house was worse. Rumors swirled that he was abusing his parents.
Oh, that's so sad.
Yeah, it's really sad. Some say that he would beat them. Some say they barely left their bedroom at one point, and they would hide in their room while their son controlled the rest of the house. So things got really dark. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
It's
that's
a
aw
really sad situation. And then one night, everything spilled into the open. Neighbors heard shouting. Then a man's panic scream. They rushed outside and saw Floyd Bettis hanging from his second-story window, clinging to the ledge for dear life. So he's trying
oh
to escape.
god. Okay.
And who do you think was leaning out trying to pry his fingers off of that roof ledge? This motherfucking
Jar
Jarrell.
Jarrell. What a dumb name. I'm sorry if you have the name Jarrell, I'm not feeling Jarrell. I'm sure you're lovely.
I'm sure you're lovely, Gerald. Uh, So his dad did manage to hold on until help arrived. But when police questioned him, Gerald stood right there as his dad lied for him yet again. Said it was just a misunderstanding. His son was just trying to help him. But fucking people saw what they saw. They knew.
So, this is full-blown parental abuse where
Yeah.
we see this in women who don't leave abusive relationships because they rewrite reality in their mind.
Yeah. Yeah. And imagine like it's
Very
your
sad.
child. So you
Yeah.
have that unconditional love for your child. You don't want them to get into trouble. And deep
Yeah.
down, you know that what you're doing is wrong, but they're afraid of him. It's
Mhm.
probably, depending on how long this has been going on, could it be some kind of Stockholm syndrome
Yeah,
type
yeah.
of thing?
And it's interesting too because a lot of women don't leave because they fall or they fell in love with the potential of their partner, not
Mm-hmm.
the actuality of it. And I wonder if there's a tidbit of that here too,
Mm-hmm.
where they're not actually seeing what their son has become. They've got these like rose-colored glasses of what he could have been.
Oh, of course. I
Mhm.
think that would be like that with any parent. There would always be that glimpse of hope to. So, I mean, keeping in mind, his dad's saying, no, no, guys, like everything is fine. So the cops can't do anything.
Yeah.
Cops are just like, well, I guess we'll have to leave.
Ugh.
On January 9th, 1981, Floyd Bettis dies. Official
Mm.
cause, natural causes. But the town didn't buy it. After years of watching Gerald terrorize his parents, everyone was convinced he'd finally killed his father.
Yeah, of course.
And now it's just Gerald and his mom in the house, which is
Oh,
almost
no.
more terrifying.
Yeah, well, now she doesn't have another person.
No, it's sad. Um, but this didn't last long, my love, because Aline ended up in the hospital after falling and breaking her.
Mhm.
I mean, at least that's what Gerald claimed. But
Yeah.
then in the hospital, witnesses saw Gerald slap his elderly mother across the face.
I can say this with full confidence. If I am ever at a hospital and I see a man slap an elderly woman, I am football tackling him to the ground.
100%.
What the
100%.
fuck?
And like, he was not afraid to do these things in public, and he was threatening her out loud for everyone to hear. So it wasn't like
Mm,
he was like trying to hide his maliciousness towards his mom. He was just a fucking
right.
dickhead.
God.
Ugh. So that was the last straw at this
Uh-huh.
point. Authorities stepped in. They removed her from the home, thank goodness, and
Yeah.
charged Gerald with assault. At the trial, she finally broke and testified that yes, she and Floyd had been abused by their son for years, beaten,
Oh.
terrorized, and held captive in their own home. It is there, I'm very much like passionate about, there's a couple things that really fuck with me. It's
Mhm.
kids and it's the elderly and
I know.
animals. Those are my three little like,
Yeah,
like,
because there's innocence. Like,
oh, there's a helplessness. There's, like, it's horrible.
and I understand, like, we hear stories or we read stories where children have been violently abused growing up, and then they get to an age where they can fight back.
Hmm.
I understand that, but it doesn't sound like this is the case here.
It's not the case. They adored him. They cherished him. They gave and gave and gave, and he took and took and took. So happily, though, Jarrell Bettis, the neighborhood menace, is locked up for
Good.
elderly abuse. And I was like,
Bye.
fuck yes. But this is where the story shifts because
Mm-mm.
Gerald went to prison, and in 1988, at just 34 years old, he died of a drug overdose.
Oh,
Boo
interesting.
hoo. The town of Quitman should have felt relief. And of course, they kind of did. But then came the whispers. And this is why I chose this story, because I was like, yeah.
Here we go.
People started claiming they saw a figure at night, something hulking, walking on all fours like an animal, a long snout and a tail. Pets begin vanishing again. Dogs would snarl at shadows that only the animals could see. Some said mutilated animals start being found, half eaten, and the Beatus house became a very crazy revolving door of terrified tenants. So people are moving into this house
Okay.
and moving the fuck out.
Right out.
One family reported pennies floating in midair, then dropping to the floor. Another swore they saw a man in a World War I uniform staring at them from the foyer before he vanished.
Okay.
Dogs refused to step inside this house. They just wouldn't go in.
It's because this ghost of Jarrell is chilling.
They're like, this motherfucker's going to mutilate me. Contractors said they saw a cat-like creature with human arms and legs.
I'm very upset right now.
Paranormal investigators later claimed they spoke to Gerald's spirit, furious, demanding, and they fucking book it. So these paranormal investigators go in and they're like trying to contact whoever's fucking menacing this community, and they fucking book it.
Listen, if a cat man creature, I'm booking it too.
Okay. So a lot of people who've lived there throughout the decades believe that Gerald made a deal with the devil. And all those animal sacrifices as a boy weren't just cruelty, they were offerings.
Oh, 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 oh.
Right. So here is the last layer of this legend because, again, it is, small town folklore.
Mm-hmm.
But this guy existed, and there are eyewitness accounts of hauntings of his home. After he died, the mutilations of animals started all over again.
Mm-hmm.
This weird man-like dog cat thing is stalking the neighborhood and they don't know what the fuck it is. Like there's a lot of layers to this story, and
No
I'm
kidding.
here for it in this October spooky season.
Mhm.
Uh Here's the last layer of the legend that I was kind of saving. The Bettis
All
family
right.
bought that house less than 2 years before Gerald was born. Before that, there was already a reputation of this house having some fucking weird shit going on.
Oh, interesting.
So, was Gerald just a troubled kid? Or was the house itself birthing him as the perfect vessel for something darker? Because remember,
Oh,
they couldn't get pregnant. They move into this house. All of a sudden,
all of a sudden.
it's like fucking Rosemary's Baby.
Yeah, yeah. That's exactly what I was just thinking.
Yeah. But for Quitman, Arkansas, one thing is for sure. The boy who tortured dogs, who terrorized his family, who became known as the dog boy, left behind a shadow that never lifted.
Mhm.
Okay, so do you think Gerald was evil from the start? Or do you think something inhumane, like because this house maybe was haunted, there was a like what do you think about it?
I am likely to believe that Satan was rocking his cradle,
Yeah.
only because it is not all children experiment.
Mhm.
I remember seeing a dead snake when I was like 4 years old and poking it with a stick because I was like, oh my God,
Yeah.
all children experiment. But to be that young and cutting apart animals that you find, that's demonic.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
that's a big problem. So yeah, I'm likely to believe that there's something dark going on there.
So those were my two super fucking weird, strange stories,
I quite enjoyed them.
right?
And it gave me a really good idea. And I want to ask our listeners to send in stories of local cryptids from where you grew up. Because this had
Yes.
me thinking, wouldn't it be cool to do a compilation? Because we only know about the cryptids from where we grew up, like
Yeah.
Mussy
Right.
and fucking Mussy. But it would be if you grew up or live in an area where there is lore of a certain cryptid, can you send us a message on social media, or Facebook, Instagram, or TikTok, or send us an email? Go to
Yeah, we
our
want your
website.
local lore. We are going to talk about
Yeah,
it.
let's do an episode on local
Yeah.
cryptids. So if you want your cryptid in an episode,
Yeah.
drop us a line.
I love that.
I think that would be fun.
I
Well,
think
my
so too.
dear, thank you so much. This was disturbing and exactly how I wanted to start my day.
Well, after last week's, or well, I guess this week's episode, the
Mhm.
last story of the Petit family,
Yeah.
we needed to lighten up the air a little. Although it was still murder and torture and things like that, I figured there was a little bit of a lightness to it. Um, and the Petit family murders kind of fucked with me a little bit, so I needed
Yeah.
to. We need to take a breath.
Yeah. A breath of maybe stale air, but here we
Yeah.
are. Here we are. Thank you all so much for listening. Next week is Halloween,
Oh, I'm so
and I am
excited.
so excited. Stay tuned Tuesday for the Enfield Poltergeist.
Oh man. And then
And then
Friday.
Friday, guys, you're not even ready.
The
I'm so
shit
excited.
that you're gonna see, like you have to, we're gonna tell our stories, but also I really encourage, if you're not watching us on YouTube, we are going to.
It's going to be something you're going to want to watch
Yeah.
because one of two things is going to happen at the end of this video on Friday. You're either going to be like, oh my God, these bitches be cray, or you're going to be laughing and falling over and crying. So
Yeah. And maybe someone might pee their pants in the video. I don't know.
it's me. It's always me. All right, guys, thank you so much for listening. We hope that you have a wonderful weekend, and we will see you all on Tuesday.
Tuesday. Bye.
Bye. Well, folks, she's gone off the deep end.
Okay, okay, I wanted to cover something like this for a really long time, and
Mhm.
I'm like giddy about it.
Mhm.
I've been holding
I
on to
know.
this.